Man, oh man, did Sam Darnold take a huge dump yesterday in his stock? His stock took a dump. It took a dump after the Week 13 matchup against the Detroit Lions and his abysmal performance. And in my opinion, it got even worse yesterday. Watching that game, you could see that the LA Rams had the perfect game plan that was set by the Detroit Lions of how to conquer Sam Darnold, and that is get him off his rocker, rush him to throw. And you could see last night in that wild card round against the LA Rams that he was not ever comfortable. And now when it comes to Sam Darnold, I don't know if he's definitely not going to get paid what he was going to get paid prior to Week 18. But he still could make a pretty penny. I personally would not pay him what Spot Track is saying. We'll look at that in a minute. But Sam Darnold will probably not be. He went from MVP candidate. He was a MVP conversation to the Vikings' future quarterback potentially. What are you going to do? They were talking about trading away J.J. McCarthy in favor of Sam Darnold, a movie in which we've seen before. But I guess you live and you learn. And he saved not only the Minnesota Vikings a ton of money, he lost a lot of money, but he saved teams a lot of money as well. Sam Darnold was a one-hit wonder, and we'll see what happens after that. But his performance over the last 2 weeks, Week 18 of the season and the last week in the playoffs, was terrible. Let me take a look, and let's look at what he was able to do. I want you to see something here. He struggled against the Jets earlier in the season. So it's almost like this game was waiting to happen. If you look at Sam Darnold, specifically even here, he played very well, went 33 for 43. But when it mattered, the biggest game of his career was the battle for the first seed, 2-14-2 teams. I mean, this matchup was making the NFL talk about seeding, and they'll probably talk about playoff seeding in the offseason. 18 for 41. I'm not a huge QBR person, but look at his QBR, 17.4. It was even worse in the wild card game against the Rams. He went 25 for 40. His completion percentage against the Lions was 43%. He didn't even complete half his passes. Yesterday, he completed a little more. Look at this abysmal average. 4 yards in the Lions game, 6.1. Better. He had 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was sacked 9 times, which some of them were his fault. His long, you got Justin Jefferson on the team, and your long is 26. Your long was 31 against the Detroit Lions. A QB rating worse than your matchup against the Detroit Lions, 13.6. Look at his projected value, even with the showing from yesterday. 4 years, $160 million. $40 million a year. There's no way in the world that Sam Darnold gets that much money. There's no way. At least Baker Mayfield was able to get his team somewhere. I don't see this happening. He's been compared to Baker Mayfield a lot as far as that kind of resurgence of thrown away quarterbacks, especially high round quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield, first overall pick. Sam Darnold was picked 3rd in 2018. Sam Darnold blew a lot of money yesterday. He lost a lot of money yesterday. Don't forget, Sam Darnold's first career pass was a pick 6 with the Detroit Lions. Now, he came back and finished the job with us, played very well after that. But he hasn't really been that guy. And ironically, he gets drafted by the Jets, who seem like they can't get it together either. So, for me, I am very curious to see where Sam Darnold's going to land. What team is going to want to take a chance on Sam Darnold? Now, just for the sake of it, let's look and let's find out what team could possibly be interested in Sam Darnold, because I got the perfect team. I got the perfect team the perfect team that I think would be willing to take a chance on Sam Darnold. They've taken a chance on a quarterback before, and it didn't work out. Although I think Sam Darnold has a bigger upside than that quarterback, you'll see what I'm talking about very soon. The team that I think could take a chance on Sam Darnold as we go to, we're going to look at the league here. and we're going to go from bottom to the top. Okay, teams that I think could take a chance on Sam Darnold. I think that any of these bottom tier teams can. You got two quarterbacks coming out that you probably, because I think this quarterback class is going to be kind of like that 2022 quarterback class with Kenny Pickett and all them guys, where Will Levis didn't come out to the third round. I think Malik Willis was third round. The highest quarterback that was taken was, and the only quarterback taken in the first round was Kenny Pickett. So I think it's going to be not that bad, but along those lines. All right. I could see, now you got Deshaun Watson. He just got ruptured his same Achilles 3 months after getting it repaired. I think that the Cleveland Browns might be in a situation where, where they move on from him, but can they afford to pay Sam Darnold? I don't know if Sam Darnold gets a monster contract. He could wind up getting another maybe 1-2 year deal. He might turn down some 1 year contracts. He might, after what people saw, because let's be clear, all that stuff during the season doesn't matter if you can't show up in a big game. If you cannot make it show up when it counts, it does not matter. So I don't think he's going to get paid nearly. I don't think it's going to be 4 years. Nobody's going to commit to Sam Darnold for 4 years after the back-to-back performance that they saw. And I think last night was worse in every way. It was a bigger game. It wasn't do or die. He had a worse game than he did in Detroit. He completed more passes, but he had an overall worse game. So I don't think he gets more than a 2 year deal. That's just my opinion. But if I had to, so the Cleveland Browns, I don't know. I don't know if they could even risk a quarterback longer than 1 year. The Pittsburgh Steelers actually just signed Skylar Thompson because they have no quarterback on their roster, I don't believe. The Tennessee Titans, you got Will Levis. They're probably going to move on from Will Levis. Now, they have the first pick in the draft, I believe. So they could probably have their, pick of the litter. New York Giants, they don't have a quarterback either. Jacksonville Jaguars, they're good. Patriots are good. The Vegas Raiders, they don't have a good quarterback. He's not going back to the Jets. The Chicago Bears, they got their quarterback. Carolina Panthers, they got their quarterback. The New Orleans Saints, I don't know what's going on with Derek Carr. We know that the Niners are sticking with Brock Purdy. He's due for a monster deal. He's not going there. He's not going here. He's not going here. And he's not going here. So if we were to look at the bottom, but this team here, I could see the Pittsburgh Steelers taking a flyer on Sam Darnold. Maybe it's a 1 year, 2 year deal. I know Russell Wilson wants to come back, but I think that he could wind up as a Pittsburgh Steeler. So if I have to make a bold prediction, I do not think that the Minnesota Vikings are going to keep him. I think they have seen enough. They have Daniel Jones. They could re-sign him as a kind of a bridge guy until McCarthy is ready. So I don't think he goes there. So I'm going to say my top 3 destinations for Sam Darnold. I don't know if he goes back to New York. That's kind of a high. That's probably why he couldn't perform the first time. I'm going to say Sam Darnold will end up a Las Vegas Raider, a New Orleans Saint, or a Pittsburgh Steeler. I think that because especially, and I'm going to say the Steelers might be the right fit for Sam Darnold. Defense, play out of the world. I just don't know how he would get along with Pickens. So those are my bold predictions that I don't think he gets a Baker Mayfield type deal. You just can't do that. After what you saw week 18 and wild card round, you cannot do that. But let me know, what do you think? Where do you think Sam Darnold lands? Do you think he's a starting quarterback? And would you pay him $40 million for 4 years? There's no way he gets that after yesterday's performance. I don't think Baker got a 4-year deal. He might have, but no, I'm not doing that at all. So let me know what you think in the comments below.